Hello everybody, my name is Norberto Ramirez. Today I will be talking about the war on drugs. I understand that drugs have always been a problem and I get why the government would want to get rid of them. But the war on drugs has been unsuccessful when it comes to the presence of drugs in this country. I will start by talking about the history. President Richard Nixon first declared the war on drugs on 1971. He referred to drugs as public enemy number one. He increased federal funding for agencies involved in drug control and suggested strict measures such as harsher prison sentencing. He also created the Drug Enforcement Administration in 1973, which is responsible for confronting drug use and smuggling in the U.S. When Ronald Reagan took office, he expanded a lot of Nixon's policies. There was a significant increase in incarceration due to nonviolent drug crimes. There was also a suspicion that the war on drugs was racist and that it was targeting and arresting people of color on suspicion of drug use at higher rates than whites, causing unequal incarceration rates among communities of color. The support has since died down, and the war on drugs has been considered ineffective and led to a racial divide. Also, since the recent legalization of marijuana, the political view on recreational drug use has become more accepting. The war is still being fought, but with less intensity and less of publicity than before. The war on drugs has caused nothing but damage. Let's talk about the waste of money it has brought upon this country. At the beginning of it all, the DA had a budget of $75 million. Now it has $2 billion. It has also led to the United States having the highest incarceration rate in the world. In the last 4 decades, an estimated $1 trillion has been spent trying to get rid of the problem. If only the government could think about how much money the legalization of marijuana has made, maybe the U.S. would make the smart decision of legalizing certain drugs. Billions could be saved. The demand will always be there as well. People cannot get enough of them. The government can keep arresting drug dealers or stopping drug traffickers, but all that is doing is creating a higher demand and a better opportunity for another drug dealer to swoop and make the money. The government has been failing on the war on drugs and will probably never win. The only way that we can be able to make any progress is if the people as a whole learn to overcome the urges of needing to do the drugs. Bad people profit off of drug users. I mean, if you think about it, the highest drug users, the highest drugs that people use are over-the-counter drugs. So I mean, it all comes down to people as individuals to stop doing these drugs. Drug dealers make the money while people overdose or die because of the gang wars due to drugs. The sad part of it all is that everybody knows, but they choose to use anyways. Just don't do drugs. Even legalizing it or illegalizing it is not going to change anything. People are going to do drugs regardless, so might as well just don't do drugs.